the following leaf modifications occurs in desert areas to inhibit water loss? Okay. First is hard and waxy leaves. Hard and waxy leaves. Yeah. So leaf. So in any leaf, the larger the surface area. So what should I say? In any leaf, surface area, or I should put it this way. Sorry, transpiration from the leaf is directly proportional to the surface area. Do you all agree? Yeah, it is. Now, tiny leaves. So based on this logic, I know for sure that tiny leaf for surely is the, yeah, cactus is all three. You're right. Cactus, perhaps tiny leaves it may not have because it does not have leaves itself. So tiny leaves. So tiny leaves means less surface area. So less surface area means less transpiration. So to me, for sure, 2 looks like a right option. Thorns instead of leaves. Now, thorns instead of leaves is still further a severe adaptation. Yeah, as some of you may have studied, thorns in place of leaves is a still more severe form of adaptation. So I know for sure that 2 is also right, 3 is also right. Hard and waxy leaves. Do you remember in the class we discussed a term called cuticle? How many of you remember this? We discussed this term called cuticle, a thick waxy outer layer. So what does this cuticle do? The cuticle makes sure that there is no evapotranspiration. There is no transpiration basically. So in this case, looks like to me that all the 3 statements are correct. Yeah. So in terms of categorization of question, I would call this question as purely concept. Okay. So this, if you remember, I had divided environment into 3 parts. I said basic concepts. Then I talked about biodiversity. Then I said there is one big thing on pollution, global warming, and climate change. And I also said that this is something like 50, biodiversity is 40, basics is 10. Now, between biodiversity, pollution, global warming, and climate change, some part of it, agriculture also comes in. Yeah, agriculture, I'm not taking it separately, but I'm subsuming it partly in biodiversity and partly in pollution, global warming, and climate change. Okay, so this is how it is. So this question has actually come from this part, the basic part. So if we've understood the basic, we would have had no problem in answering this question. So the answer is D. Let's move on to the next question. How is the National Green Tribunal different from the Central Pollution Control Board? So they are looking now this, in this case, now under which category does it come in terms of basic biodiversity? So this is under pollution, global warming, climate change, direct question, yeah, which is our 50%. And we spent a lot of time in that. National Green Tribunal different from Central Pollution Control Board. So now guys, maybe you could just let me know what you think. NGT has been established by an act. Act means Act of Parliament. CPCB has been created by an executive order. Okay, so what we are saying is one of them is a statutory organization, whereas the other is not. Any thoughts on this? Anyone based on what we have studied? So if you have, I hope that you would have been given the notes. So please go back, at least in your PPT, you can just do a very quickly do a Control F and search CPCB in all the places. You will find that when we talked about the National Water Act, yeah, at that time itself we have mentioned exactly Water Act. So both are statutory. Excellent, guys. So both are statutory. So clearly, statement 1 is incorrect. So statement 1 is incorrect. Which means what do I know? I know for sure that this is gone and this is gone. So now I have to look at statement 2 to figure out whether statement 2 is correct or that is also incorrect. Okay. The NGT provides environmental justice, and helps reduce the burden of litigation in the higher courts. Remember, go back to our class, NGT. Why was NGT formed? When already higher, High Court and Supreme Court were there. Go back to the slide on NGT. You'll get a direct answer to this. Whereas CPCB promotes cleanliness of streams and wells and aims to improve the quality of air in the country. So, what do you think of statement 2, guys? Any thoughts on statement 2? At least, what does it appear to be? Broadly, true, correct, incorrect, correct. So Prachi and Anand say it is correct. Perfect. It is correct. So which means in this question, the answer is B. That is 2 only. Yeah. So this luckily we have very directly taken, if you go back to our notes, you can actually see this statement also. Because why? Because I'd actually gone to the NGT website and taken it, why it was established.